Yo, yo, yo. I won't do the other part, I'll just do the yo. Anyway, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to part 25 of my 2025 DVD and Blu-ray collection overview. Still working on top of the shelves here, getting down to, I have 3 piles in front of me. I don't think we're going to get through all 3 within the hour here, but we're working on that. And then after that, I only have 4 stacks left. So hopefully, maybe within the next part or two, we'll wrap these up and then we'll start working on some of the other stuff. But let's not waste any time. Let's not dawdle, as the kids say. And we'll go ahead and we'll get rocking and rolling here. So first up, we have a bunch. Actually, most of this stack is all cartoons, superhero cartoons, comic book cartoons. Only one non-cartoon, but it's all cartoons here, which is cool. So yeah, getting into some of this stuff. So we have the Spider-Man, the 67 collection. I actually really like this series. This went out of print. I think it did get a little on the pricey side, but I think I paid like $30. I found it used at an FYE, which is probably not going to be around much longer. But I found that very, $30 was like, hell yeah. But I really like this cartoon. Good stuff here. Really nice presentation when Disney actually gave a shit about their physical media products. And I really like the red plastic. Oh shit, the booklet got fucked up. That's alright, I can flatten that out. I love the red plastic here. It's really, really cool presentation. And I don't know how that booklet got dicked up, but oh well. But good stuff. And then, there's a book. The booklet written by Stan Lee. I was going to say there's episode introductions with Stan Lee. No, there's not. So oh well. All right, now we got a couple European releases here, Region 2 releases, because Disney was too fucking lazy to release these here in America. Specifically with the next 2 shows. But this one, they were just too fucking lazy to put it out. But we have Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends complete series. All these European ones are out of print. A lot of them are expensive. I don't know what they go for because, once again, as I keep saying, once I get it, I don't look the prices up anymore. So, and I'm not going to sell these because I really like this one. As a kid, I had one of the VHS tapes for this, I think. It was this one, and then the 80s Spider-Man cartoon. I think I had the Vulture tape. But really like this show. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends with Firestar and Iceman. So this is season 1. And then seasons 2 and 3. But yeah, all good stuff. Again, always really liked this one as a kid. And again, they're just too fucking lazy to release it here. Even now, it's on Disney Plus. I don't give a fuck about Disney Plus. Okay, I never did. We had it for a little bit because my brother, he handles all the phone stuff because we're through Verizon. Verizon offered a package to get Disney Plus for like $5 or whatever, and we had it for a little bit, and then we got rid of it because we never watched it. I only watched it once because I got a paid request to review one of the Disney Channel original movies, and that one was on there. But they didn't have anything that was really cool on there, so there you go. Now, this is where I'll get into the rant territory a little bit, but you guys like that. So, I have the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, which in my opinion is still the best incarnation of Spider-Man. Just like it's another pile we'll get into, just like another certain cartoon from around the same time that was the best incarnation of those characters. You already know what I'm talking about, X-Men. But this is still, in my opinion, the best incarnation of Spider-Man. It's better than any of the movies. I watched this religiously as a child, and I still watch it from time to time. I don't watch it as much as I would like to, because I got other stuff I got to get to, but this is classic. So, This is, again, the UK set. This is expensive. This is out of print. I think I paid quite a little bit to get this because I just really wanted it. But this is the complete series. This is an official, legitimate release. It came out again in Region 2 UK World. So there you go. And I love the artwork on all of these. Amazing Friends, all of these artworks are awesome here. Got that comic book style to it. Really cool stuff. And then you get, the breakdowns of what's on the discs. I really like the disc art on here. And then I think underneath the tray here is the rest of the episode breakdown. But I absolutely love this cartoon. But only in Region 2 Overseas World we got the complete series. So there you go. Now in America, there's other DVD. In Canada, let me correct myself. In Canada, they did put out like a bunch of random DVDs because they were just transfers of the VHS tapes that I have in there. We'll cover those in the VHS segments later. But when Disney got a hold of the show, they did release these 5 random episode compilations on DVD and also VHS, because I have all these on VHS as well. Because I just love this show, and I'm physical media, you know this, and I like having all of it. Why, of all the cartoons that Disney now owns from Marvel, from the Fox Kids library, because they bought that, why is Spider-Man really the only one that they should have released on DVD, that they didn't release on DVD in its complete box set form, whatever? A lot of people make up excuses, well, it's the rights. Well, that's not true, because Disney owns Marvel, and they own Saban, and they own Fox, or they did own Saban at the time. They own this outright because they own Marvel and they own the library, the Fox Kids library. They own all that stuff. So there's no excuse. And it's on fucking Disney Plus. This is on Disney Plus. So you can't tell me that there's a rights issue. They were just too fucking lazy to release this on DVD in a box set proper form. They did it for X-Men. Now they did it in volumes, but X-Men is on DVD complete. The Fantastic Four cartoon from the 90s, which we'll get to in a minute. The Iron Man cartoon from the 90s, which we'll get to in a minute. So how come they did it for X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Iron Man, but they were too fucking lazy to do it for Spider-Man, which is arguably, now at least, the biggest Marvel character. So you want to keep sucking people dry for money and everything, and you want to keep having people spend money on Spider-Man, but you don't want to release this in America on DVD or Blu-ray at this point, and you had all these opportunities to do it. When Disney took over, this was, I think, 2002. Let me see if I can find a copyright date on this. Okay, there is no copyright date on this, but I think, yeah, oddly enough, 2002. Okay, so that was when the first Spider-Man film came out. So you had the 3 Tobey Maguire movies, you had the 2 Andrew Garfield movies, that's 5, then you had those shitty Tom Holland fucking movies, there's another 3, Avengers, all this shit, and you had all these opportunities to release this stuff on DVD or Blu-ray, and you just didn't because you're fucking lazy. And I did the click in there on purpose. Because you're fucking lazy. Lazy! That's why. So that's another reason why, one of the main reasons why I fucking hate Disney is because they were too fucking lazy to release Spider-Man from the 90s on DVD or Blu-ray at this point. Again, they did it for X-Men. They did it for Fantastic Four. They did it for Iron Man. The Hulk cartoon never got a release here either, which we'll cover that. I love that show. Silver Surfer got nothing. Avengers got nothing. It's because you're lazy. You own every goddamn fucking thing out there. You could release everything that you have on DVD and Blu-ray, and you would have money until when Jesus returns, but yet you don't want to do it because you're fucking lazy and you'd rather put it on your shitty streaming service. So yeah, that is among the top reasons why I fucking hate Disney. But it's not the main reason. The main reason is because they're a bunch of fucking satanic pedophiles that want to molest your children. So there's that. Rant over. Anyway, these are the 5 random American releases that they put out. It's just random episode compilations. So we have the Ultimate Villain Showdown. And then it does have a bonus episode from the 67 cartoon. And then there's interviews with Stan Lee and such. And then we have the Return of the Green Goblin, which has bonus episodes with the Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus. Now, I think those are episodes that didn't come out on the other sets from this show. And then there's stuff with Stan Lee. Now, these two, I actually had on VHS when they first came out. I remember going to Walmart. I think it was around Christmas. I had a gift card and I got them. I do have them on VHS again, but they're not the ones I had when I was a kid. Because when I got them on DVD, I got rid of them. Because, again, at the time, I was not collecting VHS, like I do now. So there's that. Then we have Volume 3, which is Daredevil versus Spider-Man. Because I think this was when the Daredevil movie came out. So they put this one out. And this is from Blockbuster. And then there's an episode. Okay, so it has the 67 Spider-Man cartoon bonus episode. And then it has an episode of the Fantastic Four 90s cartoon with Daredevil in it. So not only did you release the fucking 90s Fantastic Four cartoon on DVD, but you put bonus episodes on Spider-Man DVDs. You lazy fucking pendejos. Anyway, sorry. Then we have Volume 4, which is Spidey versus Doc Ock, which this one actually has the chapter insert. I don't think any of the other ones do. Excuse me. No, and no. So I'll have to go online and try to find them. But this was 2004, so this is when Spider-Man 2 came out. So instead of releasing random fucking episode compilations, they could have put out the entire series on DVD. But no, they're fucking retarded. They're fucking lazy. I would love to walk into Walt Disney and tell them they're all fucking retarded, because they are. Well, why do you think we're retarded? Because you had opportunities to release the Spider-Man 90s cartoon on DVD and you didn't. You fucking pendejos. So there's that. Anyway. And then it's got a bonus episode from the 67 cartoon as well. So, and then, yeah, they released that cartoon in its entirety. And then they put bonus episodes on other sets, but whatever. And then we have Volume 5, which is the Venom Saga, which came out in 2005. So this is before Spider-Man 3 came out, but there you go. Whatever. And this one this one actually has the chapter insert as well. So I have to, again, go online and try to get those. So yeah, I have these because I know the episodes are all on here, but these have interviews with Stan Lee and introductions and stuff. So there's that. But also, I love this show. I don't care. I want to have all these, just like X-Men and stuff like that. Because these are the, first of all, they're better than any of the movies. Second of all, they're all classics that I grew up with. So there's that. And then we have a show that unfortunately never stood a chance, but I really liked it when it was on, and I still really like it now, Spider-Man Unlimited. And then they were too lazy to release this one. It's only 13 episodes. But yeah, this was cool. It really got fucked with when it was on. This was a victim of the Pokemon-Digimon war. Then they canceled it, but then they brought it back, and then they aired the episodes at random intervals, so it was never consistently on. And I love that they did a red case for this. But I still really like this cartoon to this day. I really liked it again when it was on. I still really like it now. And I love Spider-Man's design, the outfit with the cape. I thought that was a cool touch. And then another show that never stood a chance, and MTV did not care about it, but the MTV, I always call it the MTV Spider-Man, but Spider-Man, the new animated series, Again, I just call it the MTV Spider-Man. That's just me. But I really like this. I watched this when it was originally on as well. I thought this was really cool. But like I said, they did not give a shit. They aired the episodes out of order. It would come on at random intervals. It would come on at weird times. And they didn't give it a chance. But really solid. I would love if this were to come out on Blu-ray, but it's probably not going to happen. But again, I just really, really enjoy it. I would love to watch all these, again, but I just don't have the time right now. I have other stuff to get to, but classic stuff. And then we have the Fantastic Four 90s cartoon, because, they put this one out on DVD completely and it was fine. They had no problems doing that. So there you go. And I think this was when the first Fox film came out, they put this out. So there you go. But yeah, it's the complete series. It's both seasons. Really like this. Season 2, I think, was better than the first season because it got a little darker, a little edgier. But, I like both. I like both seasons, but season 2 was better. Just like Iron Man, which we'll get to. And then we got a little DVD on TV, or TV on DVD ad here. There's Home Improvement. Again, I'm definitely getting those this year, or 26. And then I have all of... So yeah, Boy Meets World, they put out the first 3 seasons, then they stopped. And then Sweet Valley High, they only put out the first season. So there you go. Because they're fucking lazy! Again, the fucking Nazi party, Disney. Fucking lazy. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. That's how I feel. God damn it. That's how I feel. You don't like it? I don't know what to tell you. Go watch something else. But here, you're getting honesty. I don't play that shit. I don't play fuck games. I play reality. Alright. Now that wants to behave. And then we have Fantastic Four World's Greatest Heroes, which this was on Nickelodeon, I think. This was 2006. So I did not watch it when it was originally on, but I did hear that it was good. I think I found this DVD at Five Below when they actually sold DVDs. That was the thing. Like Five Below, when they sold movies, I would go in there all the time. When they stopped selling movies, I don't care. But yeah, I think I found this in there. But this was pretty cool. I actually quite enjoyed this show. I think this was another one that didn't really stand a chance. But it's got some cool stuff in it. Check this one out if you haven't seen it. And then we have the 90s Iron Man cartoon, because again, they put this one out on DVD with no problem. I think they put this out when Iron Man 2 came out, because it says 2010. So there you go. But again, I like the second season was better because it was darker and stuff, but the first season was good as well. And I love the theme song to this. I am I am Iron Man. So I cannot complain. And I had a bunch of the toys of this back in the day as well. But I used to watch this when it was originally on. Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, X-Men. All of these shows, actually, I watched when they were on back in the day. I loved watching these shows. Again, Spider-Man and X-Men I would watch religiously. I still love these cartoons. They're still classics. Then we have the Hulk cartoon from the 90s. Because again, they were too fucking lazy to release this on DVD here in America. So you had 2 opportunities with Hulk films and then all the Avengers films. But nope, we're not going to do it. But in UK Region 2 land, they did get it. And I really like the presentation on this. They put them in each and individual cases. Nice little slipcover here. So, very cool stuff. And then we have Season 1, Volume 1. Really like the artwork on all of these. And Clear Vision put these out, who I don't think is around anymore. But they did a lot of these Disney products in Disney cartoons in Region 2 world, because I think they had a deal with Disney at the time. We'll cover. They did The Tick, which I have that. I think I have some of the other ones, which we'll cover later. But yeah, this has the first 2, 3, 4, the first 5 episodes of season 1. And then we have season 1, volume 2, which has the remainder of season 1, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? 13. Yeah, it's the first 6. So there you go. And then season 2 was only 8 episodes, so they just put it in its own thing. And then they had She-Hulk in there. Yeah, because, She-Hulk was created so the Hulk would have somebody to fuck. No, David Goyer, you're a retard. She-Hulk is his cousin. It always was. Retard. Anyway, but I really like this show as well. I used to, again, watch this originally back in the day. And then, we got, just like with Spider-Man, we just got a random compilation of episodes here, which I think this has the pilot, Return of the Beast, and then I think it's got 2 more. It doesn't tell you, and it doesn't have the insert. But it has a bonus episode from the 60s Hulk cartoon, which is pretty cool. And then there's an interview with Peter David, who was writing the Hulk at the time, I think. And there's an interview, I think, with Stan Lee as well. But this also came out on VHS. But, can't get the Hulk cartoons on DVD, even the one from the 60s. I think that came out overseas as well. I don't have that one, but oh well. And then we got a couple more Marvel cartoons here. We have Silver Surfer, which unfortunately this show did not really stand a chance, but I did quite like this one when it was on. I love that it's a silver case, See, look, they actually gave a shit. Wow. Interesting. Oh, sorry, fucking body's hurting. But this was quite good. I did like this one. But like I said, it didn't really stand a chance. And then the last one that I have here is the Avengers United They Stand, which once again, watched it when it was originally on. Still quite like it, but I think at this time Marvel was going through bankruptcy and they were just trying to salvage what they could. But a lot of these later shows didn't do well, unfortunately. But good stuff. I do like them. And sometimes, there's 13 episode seasons is kind of all you need at points. Then I have the complete series of Boy Meets World. These are all the Lionsgate releases because, like I just mentioned, Disney put out the first 3 seasons and they didn't sell enough apparently, so Lionsgate got the license from them and then re-released the first 3 and then wrapped up the rest of the series. But I think the re-releases, I think it's the same discs. I think they just put the Lionsgate logo on the sticker, if I'm not mistaken, the label. And then 4, 5, 6, and 7 Lionsgate did on their own. But Boy Meets World, one of my favorite sitcoms. They did do a box set that had a bonus disc. I actually found that bonus disc by itself, and I have that somewhere. So we got season 1, which this has, for whatever reason, a bonus episode from season 4, and then there's commentaries with the cast. Matthew Lawrence is on the commentary, but he wasn't on the show yet, and they make jokes about that because they'll be like, "Matthew, where are you?" He goes, "You don't see me? I'm in the back." They're like, "But that's a wall." He goes, "Yeah, exactly." So that's pretty funny. Then we have season 2, which has audio and video commentaries. I think Disney did that. And then we have season 3, which is the last ones. That this one has a game on here, but that's it. And then they didn't do extras for the rest of them because, like I said, the first 3 are just the same Disney discs with a new label on it with features. The rest of them, Lionsgate didn't want to do features, I guess. Except for when they did that box set, because it's got some new interviews. Then we got season 4, which I think this is really when the show hit its peak, season 4 and 5, and then after that it kind of dipped off, at least in my opinion. But I like all of them, because me and my brother, a couple years ago, we watched through it. And when we got to the later seasons, I'm like, damn, there's actually some really good episodes in here. So I forgot, because I was like, the last couple seasons, the show was kind of done. I'm like, no, there's some really good stuff here, because that's when they had the mom had the baby, and the baby was born premature, so the baby was in the hospital. That's when Sean's dad died. So they got into some more serious topics later on. And we got season 5, which has the best episode of the series, which was the parody of slasher movies. Then we got season 6, where they get into college. But like I said, there is some good stuff in the later seasons. I watched when Girl Meets World came on. I watched the first couple episodes and I wasn't impressed by it, so I didn't watch the rest of it. Then we have the last season. So, all good stuff. So that is that stack. That was about a half an hour. So maybe we can get through this next one. Actually, no. My apologies. I forgot. How can we forget about this? So we got one more cartoon for this stack. And I will say, We Live Again. Yes, Gargoyles. One of my all-time favorites ever since I was a kid. Just absolutely love this show. So they did season 1, which I think did okay. There's some extras and stuff on here. Like I said, I think in the last part, I got this at it's not around anymore, but when there was a local mom and pop video store left, they had this in there for sale, and I bought it from there. I think it was like $10 or something. Then they did season 2 volume 1, which I don't think sold well, so they stopped making them for a while, and there is some extras on here. But again, really like this presentation. Come on, nice slip cover, slip box, whatever you want to call it. Got some notes in there. Very cool. But yeah, that's season 2, volume 1. And then, like I said, this one I don't think sold that well. So they stopped making them until many years later. If it wants to go back in its home. Thank you. Because this was 2005. So season 1 was 2004. And then I'm fighting to get this back in because it wants to be a pain in the dick. Alright, there we go. Then this was 2005. And then they just stopped making them because they didn't do well. So then in 2014, so 9 years later, we got season 2, volume 2 finally. Now, originally, this was released in the Disney Movie Club. And I remember when it came out, I was trying to get it, but the prices were just ridiculous. People were selling them on eBay for crazy amounts of prices, crazy amounts of dollars, excuse me. And then a little bit after that, they're like, no, we're going to release it retail. And then I found this at Walmart. So I was like, fuck yeah. But of course, at this point, 2014, even then they were starting to cut back on the artwork and stuff. But, at least we finally got it, so I can't complain. Oh, shit, I forgot. I used to do this all the time. I used to actually write what episodes were on the discs if it didn't have it in the DVD, if it didn't have an insert or something. So, why not, right? And then they never released the 3rd season because they canceled the show after the 2nd season because the ratings weren't that good, and then Disney brought it back because they were starting a new animation block, but they completely changed it, even though the 3rd season's okay. So they never put out the 3rd season officially. I think I have a burned copy that I made, but, oh well. But the first 2 seasons are great, so there you go. Alright, now that stack is done, let's go ahead and jump into the other one here, and we're kicking it off with another cartoon. We have Freakazoid Chimpanzee. I love this show. I used to watch it back in the day when it was on Cartoon Network. Used to show the shit out of it when they had the license. So we have season 1, and David Kaufman actually did the voice of Freakazoid, who did the voice of Marty McFly on the Back to the Future cartoon. So very nice. And then we have season 2. But love Freakazoid. Again, chimpanzee. And this one has a nice little kind of slip box to it. The first one just has a slip cover. But cool show. Really enjoy it. And then this is on Blu-ray. I just don't have it on Blu-ray. But Undisputed 2, Last Man Standing, really solid movie. Again, Isaac Florentine, martial arts film, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get some great fights. And there is a commentary on here with Isaac Florentine, Michael Jai White, and Scott Adkins. And then there's also a making of, which is cool. And then we still have Ace Ventura Pet Detective on DVD, because again, this is the home video version, which has one of the best scenes in the movie where he's acting like the dolphin trainer, which for whatever reason was not in the theatrical cut. I don't know why, but it wasn't. And all the Blu-rays out there is the theatrical version, but they have this little label here where it says it's the extended cut, but it's actually not. So, and the shitty thing is this is in full screen. So there you go. I think the laser disc is in widescreen, which has that scene in it. So yeah, that's why I still have Ace Ventura on DVD, because they're too fucking lazy to put that version on Blu-ray. But also, why would you cut that scene to begin with? I don't know. Anyway, we have the Mask animated series. This is the pilot. The Mask is Always Greener on the Other Side. I absolutely love this show. Out of the Jim Carrey cartoons, this one was my favorite. I had this on VHS. I think I actually still have it on VHS. But I used to watch that VHS all the time. I used to watch the show when it was on. Ace Ventura I do like. Dumb and Dumber, I actually never saw that cartoon for whatever reason. But Ace Ventura and The Mask I really like. The Mask was always my favorite. The first season of this did get released through the Warner Archive. I do have that over there. But I still kept this one just because this was a bonus disc at Walmart. If you bought, I think, Son of the Mask when it first came out, this was with it. So that's why I got it. But yeah, it's just the first 2 episodes. It's the pilot, but I love that they put it in a green DVD case. But I love this cartoon. Love it. I wish that the rest of the show would come out on DVD officially. I found it online. I just burned it to disc, but I love the Mask cartoon. And the Ace Ventura cartoon was fun as well. It had the monkey and everything. Then they did a crossover. I think it was the last episode for each show, they did a 2-part crossover, which was fun. So there you have it. Now, we have Scream. This is the German, right? Yes, this is the German release, because this is actually the uncut version of the film. In America, it only came out on VHS and Laserdisc. I guess it was not good enough for DVD or Blu-ray or 4K. And this is still the only way that you can get it on a DVD. And also in Japan, I think the Japanese release has that version as well. I think it also has the R-rated cut, if I'm not mistaken. But then there's some extra features. I think it's all the stuff that came out on the American releases. But this one took a while for me to find. I don't think it was expensive. It just took a while to find. But yeah, the reason why I have this is because it's the uncut version of the film, which I also have on Laserdisc and VHS, but I wanted it on DVD. So there you go. I just don't understand why it's so difficult for Disney or whatever, Paramount. Actually, no, it's Paramount, because Paramount owns the Dimension catalog now. So it actually is not Disney anymore. That's one thing Disney doesn't own. Paramount owns all the Dimension stuff now. I don't know why Paramount just doesn't want to put this version out there. I mean, they own everything from Scream now. So, and it's on 4K, but it's still the R-rated cut. So again, in America, it was good enough for VHS and Laserdisc, but it was never good enough for DVD or Blu-ray or 4K. Oh well. And then I still have the bonus disc that was in the DVD box set, because there's extra features on here which have never come back out on the DVD or on the other DVD or Blu-ray releases. There's a behind-the-scenes documentary. There's outtakes. There's screen tests. None of that stuff, or scream tests, get it? None of that stuff has ever been reissued on, again, any DVD or Blu-ray or 4K release. So that's why I still have this. I did have that box set for a while. So I remember that was another box set that they really marketed the shit out of and promoted the shit out of with that. But I think I just got rid of the individual discs. I think I actually still have the box for it somewhere because I kept this one. So there you go. But I love Scream. One of the all-time classics, always one of my favorites. And come on, Paramount, what are you doing? Like, you got all this fucking shit and you don't want to put it out there? It's like, I know you want to keep making money off. That's the thing. If you put it out there, people will buy it. You're always complaining about money and shit, which is weird, but if you stop making all your movies $200 million a piece, you would have a little bit more profitability. I know, difficult, right? But if you put out the uncut versions of these movies that people want, we wouldn't have to resort to the German releases. So there you go. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because there's not. Next up, we have the sequel to A Christmas Story, My Summer Story. I really like this movie. This is one that was always on cable growing up. I actually like it more than A Christmas Story. Sue me, okay? Get over it. There is a Blu-ray. I just don't have it. But I really like this film. With Kieran Culkin in it. I think the other kid, I think that might be one of the other Culkins. I'm not sure. And then you got Charles Grodin, may he rest in peace, and Mary Steenburgen. So, who I love. Always been a big fan of her work. But good stuff. I quite like that movie. And then we have City Slickers 2. Again, I know there's a Blu-ray. I just don't... Actually, when I bought this DVD, there was no Blu-ray. So, but this has since come out on Blu-ray. I don't think it's as good as the first movie, but I do like it. So I can't complain. And there is, I think, a comment... Yeah, there's a commentary on here, which I think is on the Blu-ray with Daniel Stern. So, can't go wrong. But... And again, it's the old snapper case DVD. Snap ahead, in the words of Andrew Dice Clay. And another snapper case DVD, we have Mickey Blue Eyes, which is a pretty funny movie. I do really enjoy this. It's Warner Brothers, so again, we don't know what's going on. But I doubt this would ever get a Blu-ray. But I quite like the... I don't think it did well when it came out, because I think it was right after Analyze This. And then The Sopranos had come on, so the Mafia stuff... What the hell? Why is it... Oh. I'm like, why is it upside down? It's a flip disc, that's why. And this is the widescreen side. That's why I did that. Anyway. And then The Sopranos had come on, so the Mafia stuff was cool again, but... it just didn't do well. Oh, well. And then, yeah, The Crew, I think, had come out right after that, so... they were trying to piggyback off of doing mafia comedies, and it just, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. So there you go. All right, next up we have the John Travolta, the other John Travolta dance movies. Well, no, I don't have Urban Cowboy. Sorry, my bad. But first up we have Saturday Night Fever, which has this really cool like disco ball slipcover. I don't have this on Blu-ray, obviously, but an all-time classic. Saturday Night Fever is definitely an all-time classic. I want to grab that Blu-ray at some point because I love it. And then I do have Staying Alive because it's actually directed by Stallone. I would love to know the story behind that. I would love to know how Stallone got involved and how this happened, but of course we're never going to hear it. Do I think it's the worst movie ever made? No. Is it as good as Saturday Night Fever? No. Did I say Saturday Night Live instead of Saturday Night Fever? I can't believe I did that. Saturday Night Fever is a classic. Saturday Night Live used to be good, not anymore, not for a long time, but do I think Staying Alive is the worst movie ever? No. Oh, I forgot it comes with this. This is when Paramount was doing the I Love the 80s line, and they did come with these bonus CDs. I think they were all the same, though. You got Lips Like Sugar by Echo and the Bunnymen, Chains of Love by Erasure, Need You Tonight by INXS, and Take On Me by Aha. And again, I think all the CDs were the same. So there you go. Then we got some Charles Bronson here. We got a double feature of Telephone and St. Ives. Both of these are on Blu-ray now. When I got this DVD, they were not, so I'll upgrade at some point. And then we have the Family of Cops trilogy, which these were the last movies that he did. These were made for TV, but I like them for what they are. I can't complain. We have the first one, which in this one, his son is played by Daniel Baldwin. For whatever reason, Daniel Baldwin did not do the sequels. Joe Penny took over, and I actually kind of like Joe Penny more. That's just me. Then we got Family of Cops 2. And the final movie that Charles Bronson made, Family of Cops 3. But these aren't bad. I do like these for what they are. I think they're, it says Trimark. I think Lionsgate owns these now. I doubt if they would ever put these out on Blu-ray. You know, we'll see. And then we got some Adam Sandler stuff here, which these are all on Blu-ray. I just don't have them right now. But we got Little Nicky, which I always really like this film. I know some people do. I know some people don't. But I always really like this one. And this was actually the first flop that he had, because I think Bulletproof did okay. But this was actually the first flop that Adam Sandler had. So, and it's weird because he did Wedding Singer for the same studio, and that was a huge hit. And I think this was the movie he did next, and it wasn't a huge hit. But I love the extra features on here because you get a commentary with Adam Sandler, you get deleted scenes, you get another commentary with Michael McKean, and then Ozzy Osbourne shows up, and Henry Winkler. You get Adam Sandler Goes to Hell, which is a making of the film, and then Satan's Top 40, which is about hard rock and heavy metal. Ozzy's in there, Dio's in there. That's really cool. And I think all this is on the Blu-ray, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, still have the DVD for right now. And then you get a snapper case, and this is one of the ones that opens up again, which is pretty cool. But I don't care. Ozzy? Holy shit. Then we have 8 Crazy Nights. This is the 2-disc edition, which I think the Blu-ray is one of the burn-on demands. I have to look into that. I know most people don't like this movie, but I do. You know, that's just me. You know, it's fun. It's goofy. It's a Hanukkah cartoon film. You know, you can't go wrong. And then we have The Longest Yard, which unfortunately this DVD is in full screen, because this is when they were doing both, because they wanted to be cool. And then everything went to widescreen a couple years later, and then everybody acted like they didn't fucking notice. So there you go. But I definitely need to pick this up on Blu-ray. Love the longest show. I actually like, I don't know which one I like more. I like the original, and I do like the remake. I think the remake is good. So again, that's just how I feel. Then we have The Hitcher, which of course I need to pick up the Blu-ray for this from Second Sight. But great movie. Cannot go wrong with The Hitcher. And this is a rental from Movie Gallery. Anybody remember Movie Gallery? I never went there. There was one the next town over from me. There was a Movie Gallery there, but I never went there. I never rented from there. Yeah, when we moved up here, we had a couple of mom and pop stores. I used to go in. The one I used to go into, the other I never went into until later. They were both gone. Actually, the one mom and pop store lasted longer than Blockbuster. Then there was a Blockbuster, and then there was 2 Hollywood Videos. But I never went to Hollywood Video here. Then we have the Jumanji cartoon. I watched this when it was originally on. I really like it. I still quite like it. And Bill Fagerbakke actually does the voice of Alan, which I always thought was really cool in this show. But yeah, I quite like this one from Mill Creek. And then we have this is the only one I have. I know they're on Blu-ray. I'll have to get them. But Masters of Horror, this is We All Scream for Ice Cream. This was the Tom Holland entry, not Tom Holland the shitty actor, Tom Holland the amazing director. I really like this one. William Forsythe is in it. He's this ice cream man who's developmentally disabled, and these kids play a prank on him, and then years later he comes back to get his revenge, which is pretty cool. And then Lee Turgeson is in it from Point Break and Wayne's World. Who else is in this? Oh, it doesn't say, but yeah, they're in it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I like this one. Like I said, I think both of the seasons are on Blu-ray. I just don't have them, and that's the only one I've ever had or seen. I haven't seen any of the other ones, but I remember when that was on Masters of Horror, and I thought it was a really cool concept and idea. And like I said, unfortunately, I've just never seen them other than that one. So we'll have to rectify that. Have to change that. Another thing I need to change is I need to get this on Blu-ray, but Dog Soldiers, I still only have this on DVD and VHS. Actually, I do have Dog Soldiers on VHS, but my favorite werewolf movie, and this is a from Blockbuster, so you can't go wrong. But, yep, it's mighty time to upgrade that to Blu-ray. Then we have Dead Bang with Don Johnson. Great movie. Unfortunately, it did not do well when it came out, but there's no official Blu-ray for this. There's bootlegs that are out there. I definitely want to get that. And the shitty thing is this is in full screen, but really solid movie if you have not seen this. And yeah, this one, Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, I really liked. It's just, I think a lot of people just looked at Don Johnson as a TV guy, you know what I mean? And that's why I think a lot of his movies didn't do well. Then we have The Iron Giant, great film. Definitely need to upgrade this to Blu-ray, but great movie. Sad movie, but, you know, great movie nonetheless. And it's funny because I think this came out around the same time as Wild Wild West, and Warner Brothers, I think they took money away from this film to give it to Wild Wild West because they were thinking the Iron Giant's going to do nothing, and I think that actually made more money than Wild Wild West, if I remember correctly. I think that's how the story goes, you know, something like that. You know, it's a tale that is as old as time, as they say. Next up, I think I'm the only person that likes this movie, but we have The Hebrew Hammer. This was a Comedy Central film. I actually watched it when it first came out and then picked up this DVD, but I think this movie is hilarious. Again, I think I'm the only person that likes the movie, but that's just how my brain works, I guess. Then we got we got 5 here, actually. We got some Aerosmith DVDs, my second favorite band next to none other than the mighty Van Halen. But these are all, actually all but one are bootlegs. So first up we have the vintage years, 1974 through 78. And it's just a bunch of clips on here. Midnight Special, different live footage. Then we have Permanent Vacation live in Philadelphia. Great concert, great Pro Shot concert. I have this on CD as well. One of my favorite Aerosmith bootlegs. Then we have the complete MTV Unplugged and more. And I had to remake the first disc because when I had this when I was in the Army, and when the only thing that got damaged when I got out of the Army and moved back here was this disc got damaged. So I was able to find online somebody had this up, and I got the first disc and remade it and put it on here. But yeah, you have the complete unplugged performance, you have the broadcast version, and then you got the second disc is all extra features like rehearsal footage and stuff. So there you go. Now this is the only official one that I have. This is You Gotta Move, which this aired on A&E actually back in the day. It was like half documentary, half live show. So, and then it's got songs that weren't on the live show, and then extra features and stuff like that. And then I think there's actually, there's a a bonus CD, which is pretty cool. So I have to put that one on my Apple Music. I forgot that was in here. So there you go. But pretty cool. And then this is not. This is. It's a fancy bootleg. I will say that. But it's big ones you can look at, which did officially come out on VHS and Laserdisc. But this is, again, a fancy bootleg. And this was all of the music videos up until the Get a Grip album that they did with Geffen Records. I think I might have this one on VHS. I'm not sure. So you get Deuces Are Wild, which was the newest video at the time, because this was 94. Living on the Edge, Eat the Rich, Crying, Amazing, Crazy, Loving an Elevator, Janie's Got a Gun, What It Takes, The Other Side, Dude Looks Like a Lady, Angel, and Ragdoll. And then there's behind the scenes stuff and all there. But this is a great video if you can find it. Well, I'm pretty sure you can find it cheap. I don't know about this bootleg DVD, but you can find it on VHS and Laserdisc pretty easily. Next up, we have the original Kings and Queens of Comedy. I've only ever watched the original Kings of Comedy. I've never watched the Queens of Comedy. For whatever reason. I don't know why, but the original Kings of Comedy is absolutely hilarious. I miss Bernie Mac. I love Bernie Mac. Does not have the insert, but this is great. I think I have this on VHS as well, but this is fucking hilarious with Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley before he became a professional retard. So there you go. And then, we got the Queens of Comedy, which is Monique. Yeah, Monique, I remember her. She was on, what was that show she was on? The Parkers. Yeah. It's right in front of me. Laura Hayes, Adele Givens, and some more. I think that was just her stage name or whatever. But that's cool. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this one. But the Kings of Comedy is fucking hilarious. And then I think I might have the Latin Kings of Comedy, because that was Paul Rodriguez and George Lopez before he became a professional retard. I think I have that over there. I just haven't watched it yet. And then we have The Abyss, which is the old 2-disc DVD. I do want to get the Blu-ray because the transfer for this one actually wasn't as bad as Aliens or True Lies. But I don't think it has all the extras on there. But there is bootleg Blu-rays out there which do have the extras, so I'll probably grab those at some point. But probably James Cameron's most underrated movie, but I absolutely love The Abyss. I always really enjoyed this film. I always thought it was really solid, but it does not get as talked about as much as Aliens or Terminator 1 and 2 or True Lies, but I still quite enjoy The Abyss. I just wish that it got a better transfer and treatment and everything than what we did get, because I'm not about that AI shit. So there you go. And this is the last one in this pile, so we're just going to end it here. We'll go a little bit less than an hour because I don't want to jump into things here. And plus, it's already 1:30 at the time I'm recording this, and I got to eat and I got other stuff I got to do today. So there you go. But we have another Saturday Night Live DVD, The Best of Chris Farley, which, like I said earlier in a previous segment, this was a special that they aired after Chris died, so it doesn't have a lot of the complete like there will be complete segments and then there will be just clips of stuff. But I wish this one was just all complete segments like they did with the other ones. But yeah, this was, like I said, a special that they aired and then they just released it as a DVD. So there you go. But that's it for now. That was part 25. We will. Like I said, I got one, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 stacks left. So hopefully within the next, I don't think it'll be the next segment, maybe the next 2 segments, I should be able to get all the stuff on top of these shelves here done. And then we will move into the other two big shelves, which those will take a while because it's a lot. And then we will work our way over to wrapping up with some more Blu-rays. So I don't want to guesstimate, but we're already at part 25. I don't think it'll be another 25 parts. Hopefully not. You know, you never know, but maybe definitely another 10 parts, maybe another 15 parts. We'll see. So shit, by the time I get, maybe it will be 50. I don't know. I got too much, I guess, but it's all good stuff. And then some bad stuff. Then some fun stuff. But that's what the point. So anyway, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.